It's New Year's Eve, and after a walk around Burrator Reservoir during the day, you're going to see Fairy doing a pub crawl around Princetown. We drove over to Burrator Reservoir, which is near Princetown. The roads were very narrow. One of them was so narrow we had to reverse back because we couldn't fit down it. Then we arrived at Burrator, which supplies water to Plymouth. It's got a large dam. Fairy enjoyed a lovely New Year's Eve walk around the reservoir. There was lots to sniff. It was very wet and muddy. She was wading through muddy patches right up to her knees at one point, but she didn't seem to mind. We got to a part where there were lots of ducks and a big goose at the edge of the reservoir. Fairy got very excited and started trying to drag me down the steep grassy slope, which I wasn't too happy about. It was very wet and slippery, and there had been a previous incident where she actually nearly dragged me into the river down a snowy bank near home because she was trying to catch a swan. Her front paws actually went in the water before I managed to yank her back. So I was expecting a rerun of that, but she actually walked down quite calmly. She does have a fascination with ducks and geese, any birds on the water. If she wasn't on the lead, she would jump in there after them. That's another reason why she stays on her lead. She loves to walk along with her head right between us, which is really cute. After our walk, we headed back to our accommodation in Princetown, passing lots of wild cattle, ponies and sheep on the moors on the way back. Then we went to a lovely pub for dinner, the Castle Inn in Lydford, which is one of the best pubs for food in Dartmoor. It's also got a lovely beer garden, all lit up with fairy lights. It's dog friendly, so Fairy came with us, and she found herself a nice comfy spot on her doggy mat by the Christmas tree, and she just laid and slept the whole time while we enjoyed our meals. She's such a good girl when we take her out to pubs. Then we were back in Princetown, where we're staying. Here we are outside the National Park Visitor Centre, which has a lovely Christmas tree up. Very foggy and spooky in the night time when you're wandering around the town here. There are two pubs in Princetown. This is the Prince of Wales, which was our first stop. We do lots of the lovely Dartmoor brewery ales. Fairy met a friend in this pub, a little dog here, which came over to say hello to her, called Spirit. She also met a little Jack Russell, which was an emotional support dog, and she's very friendly with all the dogs that we meet when we're out in the pub. Again, she found a nice spot and she just laid down. This was the busier pub, the New Year's Eve party pub, and they were just about to start the disco, which was going to be very loud. So we decided we would move on to the next pub, which is the Plume of Feathers. The Plume of Feathers has a campsite attached to it and a bunkhouse, which we've stayed in quite a few times. Here is Fairy again, laying straight down on the carpet whilst we had a few drinks. She's such a well-behaved dog. She's no problem at all. You don't even know she's there. Then we went back to our accommodation, the Ramblers Rest Guest House, where Fairy got wrapped up for the night in her pyjamas. It was a bit chilly before we got the heating going, so we put a blanket over her. She doesn't like to be cold. And she had a few bedtime snacks as a treat on New Year's Eve. She loves a little bit of corned beef, so she had a few slices of corned beef as a special treat. Don't give it to her very often because it's quite salty and not the most healthy snack for her, but it's okay in moderation. And after her snack, she settled down to sleep. Fairy didn't make it to midnight. Fairy and I wish you all a very happy new year, and we look forward to bringing you lots more exciting videos in 2024. Thank you very much to all our subscribers. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of her future adventures.